Hi guys, Tottenham's back this weekend against Aston Villa. Here is my prediction. I'm going to go for a 2-2, a nice Desmond, which won't be the worst result in the world when you consider that we've got Basuma out now with a suspension. Maddison is still out. Romero is still out. Van der Ven is still out. But we have got Destiny Udogie back, which is a real boost for the team. Who's been playing really, really well, apart from his mistake against Chelsea, obviously. This is going to be a difficult one. Villa are a good team. They're playing decent football. The coach seems to know what he's doing. So it won't be the worst result if we can get a draw here. I just feel like they've got goals in them. And our defence is going to be under a bit of pressure. But a lot kind of depends on how Bentancur plays or whether he goes with Lo Celso. We really need to be going on the front foot for this to take that pressure off that back line. But we'll see where we go. You've got to keep the faith. Up the Spurs. Hey guys, Leader Dorset Spur back with another prediction for you. After the weekend's result, coming away with a 3-3 draw against Man City, you've got to be feeling confident going forward, right? So West Ham, yeah, historically have been a little bit of a bogey team from time to time. They have caused us a few problems, but with their own injury stuff going on and us playing so well, I think we're going to have too much from on this occasion. It's nice to be thinking that we're going to get Romero back, who's really, really been missed, and brings that stability in the back line that you really, really want. So I think the understudies have done fairly well. We've obviously had a bit of a difficult patch, but with the Man City one, that's broken the back of that. So for me, I think we're gonna go out there high on confidence and really feeling like we can take this game to them. So for me, I think it's gonna be something like a 3-1. I can see them scoring, but I think we're just gonna have too much for them. Let's hope so. Up the Spurs. Hi all, Leader Dorset Spur back with another prediction. And in the immortal words of a very great man, Tottenham is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Which is technically not true, because we do know what we're going to get. We're going to get high press, high octane, attacking football. But what we won't know is, will we get the result? It's going to be a really difficult one to call, in my opinion. Newcastle are coming off a bit of a bad result against Everton, so they will want to get back on track as well. So this is going to be one of those games where you can't really predict it. So I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go with a Desmond, a 2-2. Let's see what happens. Up the Spurs. Hey everyone, Leader Dorset Spur back with another prediction. This ain't getting any easier, is it? So after the weekend, having a great result against Newcastle, you would think going into a game against Nottingham Forest, who are languishing in the bottom area of the Premier League, that this could be an easy win. Dare we do that prediction? When we played against West Ham, I said, well, we were gonna absolutely smash them. And look how that turned out. So I don't think I'm very good at this. But listen, you've got to keep the faith and you've got to look at how your team's playing. And for me, I think this has got to be a banker, right? It's got to be. The Spursy days, the Dr. Tottenham times, they've got to be behind us, surely. So for me, going into this game, I'm full of confidence, if I'm honest. And I can't see anything other than a Tottenham win. So I'm going to go. I think we're going to smash someone at some point. So I'm going to go with a nice 4-0. Up the Spurs. Hi guys, Leader Dorset Spur back with another prediction. You'd like to think that this is going to be a home banker against Everton, a team that's been around the bottom of the table, has had some difficult periods over the last few seasons, but they are coming into this game on really, really great form. And so I don't think it's going to be as easy as we'd like it to be. Our suspensions are now going to kick in and add to our ever-growing injury list.
But this is one we really, really need to win. These are the games that we need to rack up those points if we're going to keep in touch with those right at the top. The aspiration has built to a top 4 finish this year, considering we was expected to be battling relegation at the start of the season with Harry Kane leaving. So for me, I've got a sneaking feeling that we will sneak it, maybe a 2-1, but I wouldn't be majorly disappointed if we didn't come away with an entertaining Desmond. Up the Spurs.
Hey everyone, Leader Dorset Spur back with another match prediction. It's not getting any easier, is it, being able to predict what's going to happen with Tottenham these days after this recent run of results. It's getting harder and harder. So I'm just going to say how I think it's going to end up. And that is that I think we're going to end up with a 3-1 win. Where's that coming from, Lee? Who knows? You know, blind support maybe. Some people say I'm mental. But listen, I believe in this manager. I think he's taken us places. And whatever the result, I'm going to keep on believing in Ange and see it through to the end of the season. And I'll judge where we are at that point. But I've got a sneaking feeling about this one. I don't know why. I might be mad. Up the Spurs. Hey Jack. Hey Dave. Leader Dorset Spur. Back for another prediction. Having a little bit of a FOMO moment, so got me flat cap on because I want to join the flat cap army. So after getting the last prediction absolutely spot on, after being called the Leader Dorset Deluded Spur, I think I'm in a good position to be able to give a good prediction on this one. So Manchester United versus Spurs this weekend. Don't think it's going to be easy. Don't think it's going to be easy by any stretch. The fact that Man United are going through a difficult period, which is great for the rest of us, but a wounded animal and all that, you have to kind of bear that in mind. But it's all good. The feeling's all good at Tottenham at the moment. 2 new signings in. Hugo's gone. Dyer's gone. The feel-good factor's back. I can see this being a tight game and us winning by the odd goal, but I can see it being quite a high-scoring game. So for me, I'm going to go for a 2-3 win to the mighty Spurs. Up the Spurs.
Hey everybody, Leader Dorset Spur here. We're back with another prediction, this time for the FA Cup. Wow, still in the FA Cup. Unfortunately, playing Man City, which is not the greatest draw we could have expected, but it was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen, and you've got to beat the best if you want to be the best. Bogey team for them. They've not scored at White Hart Lane. I don't know. But you've got to stay positive. If anyone can beat City, it's us. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. I think they'll get their first goal at White Hart Lane after 5 attempts. Can't see us keeping him out. Erling Haaland is back. De Bruyne is back, albeit for only sort of 20 minutes at a time. So going to be a tough game. But I think we're going to edge it. Just got that feeling. I just hope so. Up the Spurs. Hey everyone, Leader Dorset Spur back with another prediction video. This time for Tottenham versus Brentford. And in the mortal words of will.i.am, I've got a feeling. So I had a feeling against Man City. Didn't go as I planned. But this one I think could be the one. I think someone is liable to get a spanking. And I think this could be the one. Maddison is now back. Will he play the full game? Probably not. But if he starts the game, that will be good. And it will be good to see if he gets in there with Bentancur. Let's just see how that works. Kulu back out on the right. Maybe give young Brennan Johnson a break after all the stick that he's getting. Defence is looking very, very good. But we've got to hit the ground running really early in this one. But I've got a feeling. Got a feeling on this one. So I'm going to go with a 3-0 win. Up the Spurs. Hey everyone, Leader Dorset Spur back with another prediction. Wow, I didn't quite get it right, did I? I did say we were going to score 3 goals, but that was a lot harder work than I thought it was going to be versus Brentford. They come thick and fast. I think this is going to be another very, very difficult game. I don't think there's any easy games in the Premier League. I really, really don't. So for me, I think Everton, they really are trying to pull their results together to keep themselves in this league, fighting for each other. And I think there's a good camaraderie within that team. So I think they're going to be difficult. But now that we've got Maddison with nearly 90 minutes under his belt, Bentancur getting stronger, hopefully Sarr is now going to be back as well. Maybe he comes back into the team and gives us a little bit more. Brennan Johnson getting off the mark as well. The squad just look like it's getting a little bit stronger. So I think we'll have too much for them. I think we've got more about us than they have. So, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be a tight 1-0 win. But I'll be happy with that. I'll take it. 3 points is 3 points. Up the Spurs. Hey everyone, Leader Dorset Spur back with my prediction for the Tottenham versus Brighton fixture at the weekend. Obviously, I'm hoping for a positive result. They beat us 4-2 away, which was really, really disappointing, but they were flying back then. They've hit a bit of a sticky patch. They're a bit hit and miss. They're either high scoring or high conceding. So it's going to be a difficult one to call, I think. But then what game hasn't been difficult so far this season? I always say it, anyone can beat anyone in this league. So you kind of just have to see who turns up on the day. Hopefully we'll have Basuma back, Sarr back, and potentially Sonny back. So we could be in a position where we've got our strongest lineup available to us. Now, what we've got to make sure is that these guys are really, really up for it. We can't afford to keep dropping points like we did against Everton. So this is going to be a really, really interesting match. But we are at home. The crowd will be behind them and they will be pushing them on. So for me, I think this has got a victory written all over it. I can see us conceding, but I still think we're going to just have enough. 2-1. Up the Spurs, come on. Hello, Leader Dorset Spur back with my prediction for the weekend. Tottenham Hotspur versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Well, last week, guys, I got it spot on. Difficult game, 2-1 win. I called it, so you can start calling me Lee the Clairvoyant Spur from now on. Anyway, once in a while doesn't really make for clairvoyancy, I get it. But anyway, listen, I've always said, never an easy game. We know that. They beat us in the last dying seconds of the match in Wolverhampton. So I don't think anything's a given in this day. But we are now back almost to full strength. We have players available to us that haven't been for a while. So I really feel like now we should be pushing on. Got to take these opportunities, right? We've got these home games before it gets into the business end. So we really need to take advantage of this situation. Hopefully we can get Sonny playing from the start. I think he brings so much more to this team, along with Maddison, maybe Basuma. I think Bentancur probably needs a little bit more care and attention before he really gets back to where he needs to be. But listen, looking like we've got some good options off the bench now. So for me, I think we're gonna get this one, and I think this week we'll probably run out 3-1 winners. Stick a fiver on it. Up the Spurs. Hey everyone, Leader Dorset Spur back with my prediction for the football at the weekend. Tottenham Hotspur versus Crystal Palace. Well, a couple of weeks ago, this would have been an easy shout because Crystal Palace were having an absolute terrible time and it was all falling apart. Since then, Roy Hodgson has stepped down and they have had their first win in God knows how long, winning 3-0. So we are in a situation of really not knowing what kind of Crystal Palace we're going to get. Are they going to continue their new manager bounce type scenario? Are they going to give us a real run for our money? And at the same time, we've not had the best of results, having lost against Wolves. So what should we say? I'd like to think this would be an easy win. I don't think it's going to be. I think we're going to have to work for it. But our players are coming back from injury. They are getting more settled. They are starting to play together a lot more. It's been a really unsettling time. So I think the reality is we should be winning this game. We should be taking this one to them at home with the crowd behind us. It's a must-win game. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Spurs. Can't see us keeping a clean sheet, but
a win should be on the cards here. So let's hope so. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for the guys. They really deserve your support. Keep going. Up the Spurs. Hey everyone, Leader Dorset Spur back with my prediction for the Aston Villa versus Tottenham Hotspur game. Going to be a bit of a guess, I'm afraid, because I am currently away on holiday, so I'm making my predictions before I go. So I don't know the result of Tottenham versus Crystal Palace, and I won't know the result of Luton versus Aston Villa. So I won't know how far the difference is between the two teams, but I am expecting both those matches to be won by Villa and by Tottenham. So I don't feel there'll be too much between us. But this is a must-win game for us because we really need to be putting them under pressure and taking advantage of this opportunity. Aston Villa are having a really good season, the same as us, and they're a little bit further forward on their project. But they have lost against Man United. They have lost against Newcastle. And they have lost against Chelsea in recent matches. So they can be beaten, and they can be beaten by teams that are probably in and around the same kind of area. So that gives me hope that we could do it. But I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be a big ask. We are away from home. So for me, I'm going to be pessimistic, and I'm going to go for a Desmond. 2-2. Hello everyone, Leader Dorset Spur back with my prediction for the Fulham versus Tottenham game. Fulham, bit of a bogey team. We did lose there, unfortunately, in the Carabao Cup. But a team that's a bit hit and miss. You don't know what you're going to get from them. A little bit like Tottenham, although we are in a bit of a better position than they've been so far this season. They have had some odd results. I mean, they lost against Newcastle. They drew against Everton 0-0. 2-2 with Burnley. They beat Bournemouth, and they beat Man United. So what could it be? Well, we'll see. They have got, before it gets to us, they have got Brighton, which I won't know the result of at the moment, and Wolves, so two difficult games, and then coming up against us. So hopefully they will have had a bit of a difficult time in those previous two ties, and we can take advantage of that. It is away from home. We are travelling okay, but not as well as we'd like to. But maybe this is time for revenge. So I'm going to go with a 3-1 win. Why not? Up the Spurs. Hey everyone, Leader Dorset Spur here, back with a prediction for this weekend's match versus Luton Town. Well, after seeing us lose a game we expected to win and win a game we expected to maybe draw at best, it's anyone's guess what's going to happen, right? But let's be honest, this is Luton. They gave us a very good game at Kenilworth Road, and it was very, very tight, although we were a man down. So, given that, and given the quality of our squad against the quality of Luton, for me, I think we should be looking at winning this one 3-0. Up the Spurs. Hey everyone, Leader Dorset Spur, back with my prediction for tomorrow's game. Wow. They don't get any easier, do they? And this is going to be a bit of a tough run-in. Luckily, we got the 3 points on Saturday, which was much, much needed. Not a great performance, got to be honest. Well, they call this the West Ham's FA Cup final, but I think this is really a final for us because we really need to get the points here because we're going into a really, really tough period. I think we've got enough, but I think it will be an entertaining game, and I think there will be some goals in it, but I'm hopeful that we can just squeeze past with an odd goal, but I think it's going to be high scoring. I think we're going to end up running out winners 3-2. West Ham are playing well. Bowen's scoring for fun. They had a really difficult result against Newcastle, but hopefully we give enough and we fight enough to turn these guys over and get marching on into this difficult period. So good luck to the boys. Keep subscribing to the channel and give these guys all the support that they can get. Up the Spurs. Hey everyone, Leader Dorset Spur back with probably another really poor prediction. Not getting much of this right at the moment. So, I don't know. I don't think anyone can really predict what's going to happen, it seems. You know, 1 minute you think you're gonna smash someone, and then you're gonna think you're gonna have a really open game, and then you end up with a board draw, or you know, a game that you think you're gonna
draw or lose against, you end up with a win. It's just very, very difficult to know what the answer is and where we're going. So again, just another guess, I guess. Hard to understand how we can lose to Fulham and then have Nottingham Forest beat them when we've beaten Nottingham Forest. So we're coming up to them again. Last time out, a 2-1 win. Can't see it going a lot different from that. I really do think we have more quality. It's just whether we can make those chances. This is the problem that seems to be facing us at the moment. Everyone going into a low block, figuring us out. Our players really, really just need to take some chances. Put the ball in the back of the net. Come on, you Spurs, let's have it. Hi guys, Leader Dorset Spur here, back for another prediction. Not that I'm very good at these. Here we go, entering into probably the most difficult period of the season. And it doesn't get easy against Newcastle. We know we got absolutely stuffed up there last season. So, fingers crossed we are going to turn up and put in a decent performance. It's been a bit lacking at the moment, but we are on winning ways. So listen, you've got to keep the faith and you've got to hope that we can do everything we need to do because it's all in our hands. So I can see this being quite entertaining. I think it might be a little bit open. So I'm going to go for a 2-3 win to Spurs. Why not? Come on, let's hope so. I'll be watching it live and direct here from Iceland. I'm in Reykjavik today. So anyway, cheers guys. Have a good one. Up the Spurs. Everyone, Leader Dorset Spur here. Well, here we are. The game we all love and the game we all hate at the same time. And here I am trying to give a prediction on what is an unpredictable game. This is a real big one for us because we obviously want to do as much as we can to damage Arsenal's opportunity to win the league. But they are in really good form. We've just lost Udogie for an injury, which then unsettles our defence, and we have just been smashed by Newcastle 4-0. So on paper, it looks like we're in for a really difficult day. But this is the North London derby and anything can go out of the window. Absolutely anything can go out of the window. We know that we can turn up. We know we can make it really difficult for them. And if the fans really get behind the team and really make it a toxic, difficult scenario for the Arsenal players, you never know what the result can be. So you've got to remain upbeat. You've got to keep believing that it's going to go in our favour. You never want to predict your team to lose. Absolutely not. So for me, I'm just going to go sit right on the fence and go for a Desmond. 2-2. Hey everyone, Leader Dorset Spur back for my prediction for the Chelsea versus Tottenham game. Well, they don't come any bigger than this one for Ange Postecoglou, do they? After losing in the North London derby and the manner in which we lost in the North London derby, I'm sure he'll be desperate to start to put things right very quickly. Chelsea have not had this much trouble since before the Russian rubles come along, so we've really got to take advantage of that. It's not going to be easy. Chelsea will always try to step up against us. And this being at home, where we have a really terrible record, it's going to be one hell of an ask. But Ange has got to get into them. He's got to make sure that these players play with the right level of passion and the right level of effort, and that Mr. Vicario makes sure that he looks after himself in that goal area. We cannot afford to keep shipping goals the way we have been. So, what we're going to go with this time? Well, never going to call out my team to lose. Absolutely not going to do that. So I'm going to go with a edgy 2-1 win to the Spurs. Up the Spurs. Hi guys, Leader Dorset Spur back again with another prediction this week for Burnley against Tottenham, and yeah, so on paper should be the game that gets us back on track, but we all know football is not played on paper, it is played on grass. So what do I think is going to happen? Well, in my head I'm thinking this should be the game where we start to show a bit of class and a bit of heart and a bit of fight to get us back on track. But we know that Burnley are going to come and they're going to try and spoil the party. We know how they're going to play. They're going to frustrate. They're going to be in a low block, and they are going to put us under pressure when it comes to set pieces, corners, free kicks, that kind of stuff. and we know that anything can happen in this game. Anyone can beat anybody. So I just hope that this week has taught the players that it really, really matters. They've got to work really, really hard and play the game how it's intended to play, and try to really enforce ourselves on this game and overrun them and really take it to them and get ourselves ahead. This is one of the games where we need the 3 points. We're going to need this one. We're going to need Sheffield United to guarantee that spot. And we all know what we're all thinking about for Man City. So I'll leave it there. Tough game, big ask, but I think we can do it. And I'm going to go with a 2-1 to Tottenham. Up the Spurs. Hey boys, Leader Dorset Spur back with my prediction for the Tottenham versus Man City game. What a conundrum to be in, eh? Your head says one thing, your heart says another. Your heart always is the one that leads the way, but your head says, I don't want my team to lose. Of course I don't want my team to lose. But if they're going to lose, it's obviously going to be to this team, this Man City team that steamrollers everybody. They don't have the best of records at White Hart Lane, so, you know, we never know. And ultimately, if it's to be, it's to be. If Arsenal are going to win the league, it's not going to be because we beat Man City. It's going to be because they've been the most consistent team and they've racked up the most points, and there's nothing we can do about that. So at the end of the day, we just have to go with our own prediction. So I think we're going to win 1-0. Hey guys, Leader Dorset Spur back with another prediction. Given the really strange scenario against Man City, we've really got to turn up for this game, right? Because it would be absolutely Spursy for us to then lose against Sheffield United and Chelsea to win and overtake us on something like goal difference to get into the Europa League maybe. So, really important game, really key for us to turn up and do the business. I think we can, I think we will. My only concern is in terms of setup, are we going to go with a striker? Does that mean Son comes in and Johnson goes left and Kuda comes back in right, or something along those lines? Or do we give Dane Scarlett a chance? I don't know. It's up to Ange. He's the man, right? He knows what the answer is. So ultimately for me, I think this could be a bit tighter than we want it to be, if I'm being honest. A lot of people calling out really big scores, but for me, I think this, I do think they'll score because we do leak goals. But I think we'll turn them over, and I think eventually, it might be a bit tight, but I think eventually we'll turn out 3-1 winners. Up the Spurs.